Hey skiers, it's Bob with SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2025 ski test. We've got a Volkl Revolt 104 for you today. Fresh new graphic, really love the look of this ski. Same construction that we've had since the ski's inception. And that's great news for skiers that really enjoy kind of this wider bodied twin tip that has a lot of free ride potential, but also stays rooted in kind of the Revolt freestyle kind of character. So with that twin tip, you're able to kind of be creative out there and allows for tricks and playfulness. But with that full sidewall ski and kind of a denser feel, it allows for higher performance in softer snow and all sorts of different types of terrain. So as a result, it ends up being a really versatile 104. You could put it up against something like a Salomon QST 106 in terms of having those directional capabilities, but it also feels a lot more freestyle oriented, kind of like a slightly narrower head Oblivion 102, which is kind of that same type of free ride freestyle blur. But this Revolt 104 has been a favorite for a while. I would honestly like to spend more time on this ski. It seems like whenever we get a good day for Volkl stuff, we kind of end up in the Blaze or the Mantra category, and unfortunately the Revolt kind of falls by the wayside. But I feel like for a bigger skier like me, this in the 188 is right on the money for being playful and having some pep underfoot. It is still built with a multi-layer wood core consisting of poplar and beech, so a nice blend of lighter weight poplar and a little bit denser in the beech. That kind of gives it its overall sturdiness. And then just kind of a thicker overall core profile. So it definitely is consistent from tip to tail with that full sidewall, contrary to what we see in some other twin tips that kind of feather off to cap. This is kind of a real deal ski construction here. So in the 180, we are on the scale at just over 2,000 grams, 2,012 grams. So you do get that bulk and you do get the resulting stability out of it. But then when we look at the shape and the profile, that's where we see some of the fun factor creeping in. This ski is certainly not all business, which is really, really nice. Not a ton of camber underfoot. There is some for sure. That's building energy into the ski through the camber. But we do see some pretty dramatic rocker and taper. So that rocker starts well down by where my fingers are. Very dramatic splay here in the shovel of the ski, and just a lot of that early rise. And then for taper, it's not as dramatic in the tip as in the tail, but the widest part is brought down quite a bit. It actually doesn't extend past the rocker, which is a pretty interesting thing. It'll really kind of accentuate that float, that burst out of the snow. If you're kind of doing some groundwork in the powder wheelies or nose butter 360s or stuff like that, that's where a profile like that and a shape like that really come in handy. And then with the tail, the taper is brought down a lot farther. So if you're riding your tails, that means that they act like a rudder and they do a great job with the steering of the ski. And then we also see a pretty good set of tail rocker on these skis, pretty low until the end, and then we get that twin tip shape. So really interesting style here for the Revolt 104. We've always kind of talked about this tail shape being unique, whereas most of the other skis that we talk about will be more flared out. These are definitely tapered in, and that gives it a unique feel and a very specific character, especially in deeper snow. If you're thinking about a tree ski or something like that that can handle deep and soft snow in the woods, but you want it to be surfy and smeary, this is a great place to be. You don't have to get much wider ski. 104 with a profile like this floats a lot better than something like a 110 with a flatter overall profile. So you can kind of, I'd say the ski punches above its level when it comes to flotation. And then there's the freestyle component. You don't see a whole lot of people using this as a dedicated park ski, but it is a twin tip and it does have some nice flex to it. So there's no reason that you shouldn't take this into the park or use it in any type of freestyle setting. So, and a little bit more forward of a mount point, I would say, about -3 from true center is where their recommended line is. So, if you're more of a directional skier, you could even go another 2 or 3 back behind that to just get a little bit more of that directional performance, that traditional feel. Most people will probably be on the line because it does attract that creative type of skier. You don't have to be, super skilled or talented to enjoy this Revolt 104. I think that the rocker really makes it accessible to a lot of skiers. So those that are looking for kind of their first entry into a wider free ride twin tip, this is a great place to look. So make sure you check out this fresh new looking Revolt 104 here at skiessentials.com, and we will see you out there on the hill. Bye.